girl Nidja, and today I will be giving you guys freshman year advice.
You know how I feel. Why would you say that? Like, you put me in such an uncomfortable situation. Like, you know I'm not happy. You know I'm trying to see if it'll work out here, and I know that it's not.
As you might know, or you might not, because I don't talk about school too much on this channel because I try not to be depressing. But I did just finish my freshman year at the one and only real LU, Lincoln University. You already know.
Are you done?
So I just thought I'd share my experience with you guys. Tell you what you do, what you don't do, and all that's in between. First things first, don't pack your whole room. Freshman year at Lincoln University, you stay in a dorm called Dawson. Dawson is like a 10-story building. It looks like abandoned apartments. Not gonna lie. It's not the best, it's not the prettiest inside or out, but it is where you'll be spending your freshman year. Unless the campus is overpopulated, then most freshmen will not all stay in Dawson because they can't stay in Dawson. Even though it's 10 floors, it still has a certain number of rooms. And so you will either stay in Martin, which is right across the street from Dawson, or you will stay in Tull, which is down by the calf area. It's in the bottom. Girl, gonna have to walk up a whole bunch of hills, so hopefully, let's pray you don't get placed there. If you're a freshman and you play football, you will be staying in Perry. Sorry. If you are an honor student and an underclassman, you will stay in Anthony is the building. It's a really nice building. It has really nice rooms, double occupancy and single occupancy rooms. They're really nice. If it's overfilled, then you will stay in those other dorms according to, you know, what you're willing to pay and where you're placed. Like I said, don't overpack. I had a real problem with this during the year, not so much when I first got there. When I first got there, I packed my essentials, like where I'm gonna keep my clothes, my mini fridge, my coffee maker. Girl, had to have my coffee maker. I packed some a few clothes, like a few outfits for the rest of the summer, and then I packed a couple fall outfits. But of course, I live only 30 minutes away from the campus, so I went home very frequently at first because I didn't know a whole bunch of people. Every time I went home, I packed more clothes, and eventually by the end of the year, 2 cars full, a truck and my Tanya was just like jam-packed. I was in the front seat struggling to drive. That's how much stuff I had. Ask my friends, they'll tell you. Second thing, make sure that you get all your important things done before everybody gets there. For example, you have FAFSA and student accounts. FAFSA at Lincoln, I won't say it's the worst, but I won't say it's the best. Even though I've only been in Lincoln for 1 year, every semester I got chosen for verification. Verification is an extended process to actually signing up for FAFSA. You have to do a verification sheet, and then you have to send it in to the people at your school for FAFSA, and then you have to... It's a long process for no reason, but you have to do it if you want money. I'm sorry, that's just how it goes. I will make sure to get that done ASAP because a lot of people wait till the last minute, and then you go into the actual school, the actual room where people go to stay for student accounts and FAFSA is packed. So before you even get to the school, make sure that all your stuff on WebAdvisor gets done so that you don't have to worry about it when you get to campus because everybody's going to be worried about it. Freshmen are going to be in the FAFSA line all day, every day for the first month or two, so get that in soon. Student accounts is basically where all your student funds are located at, what you need to pay, and how to make a payment. For example, when I go to make my classes or my class schedule, my tuition plus my classes will be together on there, and then it will, at the bottom, total up how much I need to pay for all my classes. Right now, I think it's like $3,000 that I have to pay for my classes, but of course, that will get taken care of through FAFSA and all that other stuff. But a lot of people get caught up because most of everything that you get charged for on campus goes to your student accounts. That doesn't just mean your tuition, that doesn't just mean your CAF, that doesn't just mean your room and board. That means if you get charged for something on campus, such as fighting, destroying Lincoln's property, anything like that gets charged to that account. So it's easy, if you're reckless, for your student account to build up more things than just what you need to pay for school. So be careful with that because a lot of people got caught up that way. The next things are your schedule and your books. to be able to go to class, you need to make your schedule before you get to school, because if you wait till the last minute, like I said, a whole bunch of people will try to do the same thing. Plus, most of the good classes are going to be gone. And what's the point of going to a class that you don't want to be in? Don't set yourself up for failure. Books, most people get a book voucher through FAFSA, but if you don't get a book voucher, I'm so super sorry, because my first semester I didn't get a book voucher, and it was really hard for me and my mom to pay out of pocket for the books that we needed, because books are not cheap. Like, books are hella expensive. So if you get a book voucher, good for you. If you don't get a book voucher, there are certain sites other than your school site that has the certain books you need. For example, if you go to Lincoln University, MBS down here in my hometown of Columbia, Missouri has really good books, and sometimes they're cheap, and you can get used books. But if the book is on your school website and it has a used book at a good price, please buy it there. It's probably going to be much cheaper on your school site if it's a used book than at MBS if it's a used book, even though MBS does have cheap books. It's just better to get it off the site and get it all in one instead of just, buying from different places, because also books coming into Lincoln through the mailroom sometimes get lost and kind of need them for classes. And I would say talk to your teacher, because sometimes teachers not only have an extra copy but will let you get a later edition of it, meaning it'll be cheaper. Like if you need the 8th book in your economics class and your teacher's like, yeah, you need the 8th book, but you can get the 7th or the 6th, it's probably cheaper to get the 6th because it's, less valuable now. Like, more editions have been made. So I'd ask and see just to make sure, so you don't have to spend extra money. Other things are CAF access and work study. Lincoln University, like I said, all of our funds go through the student account, and one of the big things that people mess up is if you have a charge on student accounts or anything with your money on student's account is like messed up, you cannot eat in the CAF. The CAF is the central hub for everybody. That's where you get your food. That's where you talk to your friends. That's where everything mainly goes down, events and stuff like that, in the Scruggs building. If your student account is not taken care of, you will not be able to eat in the CAF. And I know that's lame as hell. Like, you shouldn't have to, go through all that trouble and pay all this tuition and get a charge on your account all of a sudden, oh, I can't eat. But that's just how it is. So that's why you have to make super sure that you have no charges on your student account, because, yeah. Eating is fun. Work study is something you do through the school. It is through FAFSA, and it really helps. I was a work study person first semester, but I stopped because I had so much stuff I was into and what I was doing. I'll get to that later, and why money should be the first priority. But work study is really helpful if you're far away from home and you don't want to keep asking for money. I have a problem when it comes to spending money. I really do. I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not going to deny it. You guys know that. Maybe you don't. I have problems keeping money. So when I got to school for the first month, it was cool because, my mom gave me money and I got money from, graduation parties. Flew through that money like Lightning McQueen, and was stuck thinking like, wow, I'm really broke right now. Told my mom, and my mom was like, well, you had that work study thing you signed up for. And I was like, oh yeah. So I went to student affairs and talked to the people at Young Hall, which is our central hub in Lincoln, if you did not know. And Kelly Todd, the woman who was over work study, helped me fill out my work study, know what work study is, and how to get my money when I do it. In Missouri, it's minimum wage, which is like 7 something, so that's how much you get paid per hour. I worked in athletics, which means I worked with the coaches and the directors of athletics and all that other stuff. Most of the stuff that I did there is I took tickets for basketball games, and I ran the scoreboard for the online football game thing. It was an easy job, and I got paid really well. Like, my checks were like, what? I worked to the point where my checks were like, what, $500? So, like, you get paid really well if you put in the work, but if you don't put in the work, then you get paid like you work. The next thing I want to talk about is your schedule. I will say this one time. No 8 a.m. classes. Why? Why would you want that for yourself? 8 a.m. classes in college are not the same as 8 a.m. classes in high school. It's totally different. I've never had an 8 a.m. class, but I'm talking waking up at 7 o'clock. Who? Who? Not me. Just don't. It's better if you just don't. Like, it's better if you just don't. Another thing is, don't overload yourself. I understand that this is your freshman year and some people just want to get done, but if you don't have to overload yourself, please don't. I'm running about 15 to 16 credits, which when you look at it, it's not that bad for freshman and sophomore year because those are your undergrad classes that you need to take, like the first priority classes. By the time I hit my junior or senior year, I still will be at about 15 to 16 credits. So also in the schedule, you need to make time to have fun. First semester, I didn't have too much fun. I went to a couple parties, but I literally was miserable first semester because I was so worried about my classes. Second semester, I was so worried about my classes because I had too much fun. So find a balance. The next thing is clubs and after school activities. These are great. Don't get me wrong. These are wonderful. They look good on a resume. They look good on an application. They look good on everything. But if you overwhelm yourself with clubs and after school activities, you will soon sink into a depression that you cannot escape, or sink into a very bad anxiety, which most people on campus did and most people on campus have. So just loosen up on the clubs and activities. But don't let that scare you away because it is really good to get involved on campus. I know for Lincoln, we have Mr. and Mrs. Freshman, Mr. and Mrs. Sophomore, Mr. and Mrs. Junior, and Mr. and Mrs. Senior, and then we have Mr. and Mrs. Lincoln. Those are one of the main things that people get into freshman year and they find a nick to. I wasn't with that. I mean, I really wasn't with being prom king and queen or none of that stuff in high school, so I really wasn't about to be in to Mr. and Mrs. Lincoln. This is not my cup of tea. But if you're into stuff like that and you love campaigning and you love rooting for your school, then Mr. and Mrs. anything in Lincoln is a really good thing to get into. Also, you can get into things like student life on campus. I forgot what it's called. Like, it's an actual like organization on campus that we have that it's like student affairs, like the kids, the students on campus that take care of like all the stuff like homecoming and stuff like that. You can get into that. That's really cool. Like I said, I was never into anything like that, but if you want to, it's a really good job and they really have people that mentor you through that whole process. So you can do that. It seems very fun. Like if I were to be into that, that seems like the right little area I would be in. I wouldn't be in all that Mr. and Mrs. Lincoln stuff, but I'd definitely be like in that. Also have different organizations like Roar Agents. Roar Agents are basically who help freshmen and underclassmen navigate where they're supposed to be in actual education in school and stuff like that. Friends. When you go to college, you need to make as many college friends as possible. Don't be fake while you're making them. Don't change up your personality. Don't switch up. Be you and make as many friends as you possibly can. Don't make so many to the point where you don't know who's your friend and who's not your friend. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. But also, when you make friends, just know that most of them are not who they portray to you. A lot of people come to college and think, oh my god, I'm just gonna start over and get new friends and and they start acting a certain way, a different way from when they acted when they're at home or back in high school. These friends will get weeded out the first year. In my friend group, I can hear them laughing in the background. There are friends that were in our group that are no longer in the group. For certain reasons, already told and untold. But those were the people that pretended to be who they are. So don't pretend, just be genuine. And these college friends will become your family. Like literally, since I've been home, I'm like, I want to go back to school so I can see my friends. Like I want to go back to school. Like I don't want to be here. Like I want to go back to school. Like I want to go back to my family. Like I don't want to be here. Like these college friends will become your family and you guys will become so close. And last thing but not least that I want to say is teachers and administrators. When you get your classes and when you start to meet teachers and administrators, first of all, be friendly. I understand that some people don't do good with authority, but the teachers and the administrators that are there are not trying to hone authority down on you. They're just trying to get you through school. So the more that you think, oh, they're because they're trying to make me do this, make me do that, it's just they're trying to help you because they've already been through it. These are college professors who have been through college. They had to go through college to become a professor. So they're trying to help you in the best way they know how to. But when I say that, that also means don't let teachers or administrators try to play you. Which now I won't say a lot, but some of them will try to play you out of, I'm the teacher, you're the student. And we're out of that. We're out of high school. None of that. I'm an adult, so I'm the adult, you're the adult. Let's talk like the adults. Period. Build relationships and ask questions. When you're in class, don't just be in class. Like, don't just sit there in class, look at the teacher stupid. Don't do that. Ask questions. If you need help, get help. Don't sit in the back of the class and look stupid and not know the answer to something because you don't want to raise your hand or you don't want to ask a question. Like, ask, raise, do what you need to do to understand the content that's on the board. Nobody is here to get your education for you. You get your education. Networking. Most of your teachers that you have are in your field and a part of what you want to become. So when you network with them, you have better opportunities when you get out of college or out of your undergraduates and go to your graduates because they've already done it. They're through. They're done. They're like done doing it. So network with them as much as possible because it will help you in your future endeavors. Network with your teachers. It's not that hard. I promise you it will help. Many students in the past come back to the school just to talk to my business teacher, Miss Kayla. It helps to network. Well, that is the end of this video, guys. I hope you liked it. If there's anything I missed, which I'm pretty sure I did, if I missed anything that you really wanted to be in this video, go ahead and put it down in the comments below so that I can see it and I can like it and, we can mix and mingle. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that bell so that you know when I'm updated, and subscribe to this channel because I'm trying to do bigger and better things for you guys because I actually like filming YouTube videos. Like, it's becoming like a part of my schedule now. I know last week I didn't post, but what are you gonna do? Alright, you can't hit me, you can't get me. I was doing stuff, alright? I just didn't have the content to put up, and so I didn't want to half-ass it. I will talk to you guys next week. I hope you have a beautiful week to the start of your week, and I hope this video helped as little or as much as it possibly could, and peace.
This is that one.